Yeah. I know. I said I am not a news channel, and while the subject of this video is technically Halo news, it is something that I found extremely interesting and enticing. This video pertains to a good bit of information that was divulged in the July MCC developmental update that was dropped on the Friday, the 31st of July. There's a lot of information that was divulged in the update that pertains to everything from ODST flighting, Season 3 of the MCC's Battle Pass deal, information about Halo 3's hit registration, and so much more. However, in this video, I will only be talking about the parts of this developmental update that intrigued me the most. This is not a complete breakdown of the July 2020 MCC update. The information I will be talking about in this video pertains mostly to Halo 3 ODST's flighting, Season 3 for the MCC, Halo 3's hit registration, and some of the features that are coming to MCC in 2020 and their progress on the development and implementation timeline. So, without further ado, let's talk about Halo, shall we? I think I'm going to start this conversation by talking about Halo 3 ODST's flighting and what that will entail. Now, if you follow me on Twitter, you'll know that I'm very excited for Halo 3 ODST. It is one of my favorite non-mainline Halo games. The Halo 3 ODST flights are said to be kicking off in the first couple weeks of August, and are packed with what you expect and some new features, one of which is something that fans like I only really have dreamed of. Halo 3 ODST, when it releases on PC, will have firefight matchmaking, just like Halo Reach. This is huge in my opinion, as Halo 3 ODST's firefight was like Halo 3's Forge, the first iteration of this fan-favorite game mode / piece of content. The firefight matchmaking that will be available in the flight, as well as retail when it drops, will be divided between Firefight Heroic, which is a more traditional, limited lives, limited ammo firefight experience, and Firefight Arcade, which, as you know if you've played Halo Reach's, firefight matchmaking is usually like certain weapons or certain enemies, unlimited ammo, unlimited lives sometimes, just arcadey. It's in the name. This is reminiscent of Halo Reach's firefight matchmaking from both the 360 days for the most part and MCC retail. This is something I had been wishing for all the way back in 2014 whenever ODST was added to the MCC, because they gave it to everybody who owned and played the MCC prior to December 2014 or something like that. I don't remember. Or was it December 2015? I don't really know, but they gave it to people for free, and it's also a DLC you can pay for. Now, I know they did not add Firefight back then, but I had hoped they would eventually add it with matchmaking as a bonus. They're adding Firefight this summer, and they're adding Firefight matchmaking as well. So, many years later, my wishes finally came to fruition. The other new features that will be available during the flight is Halo 3 ODST customization. I'm assuming this will be akin to like the Xbox 360 ODST customization. You get to pick your character and choose whether they have a helmet or not. And PC theater support for Halo 3 ODST with mouse and keyboard support. So we have theater for Halo 2 Anniversary and Halo 3, so it's probably just going to be more of the same, but just with ODST. Obviously, what I am most excited about is firefight matchmaking, but theater is always something nice to have as it can help with content creation in many ways I've stated before in previous videos. The flight will also contain campaign missions and playlists. The missions and playlists are subject to change, but currently include Mombasa Streets, Tayari Plaza, Uplift Reserve, NMPD HQ, Data Hive, and Coastal Highway as available missions, and Flight Test Heroic, Hoofin' It, and Street Smart as available playlists. I am more excited than ever for this upcoming Halo 3 ODST flight and subsequent retail launch. This information, including the info I did not cover regarding the flight, only helped to increase the hype and excitement for me, which is a recurring theme you will hear quite a bit throughout this video. Now that we've gone over Halo 3 ODST and its flight, let's move on to talk about the Season 3 content coming to the Master Chief Collection. There are a lot of features that the community has requested to be added to the MCC, and for the most part 343 Industries has listened. 343 has been exceptionally good at being transparent on how far along community-wanted features are in development, or if they are even in development at all. The features that are currently planned for release for 2020 are extremely exciting and things I cannot wait to mess around or tinker with. These things include stuff like crossplay, input-based matchmaking, server region selection, custom games browser, per-game graphics options, per-game audio options, a PC file share, double keybinds for all games, it's kind of a big one for me, mouse and keyboard support for Xbox, view model adjustments, Steam account linking, and an in-game FPS capper adjustment. And that's just naming a few of the things. Some features are expected to release like bundled together, such as crossplay being released alongside input-based matchmaking and server selection, or custom games browser launching alongside per-game graphics options and mouse and keyboard support for Xbox. The planned features I personally am most excited for are crossplay and the custom games browser. I may be new to it, but I love forging maps, and being able to essentially set up my own server through custom games to test my maps with both friends and strangers alike is definitely a big deal for me and people who do not, always want to play matchmaking to play online. The custom games community in Halo is huge, so this is going to be nothing but a solid win for them, much like it was whenever Halo 5 introduced it. Obviously, crossplay is beneficial because it unites all MCC players together, regardless of their platform they play on. I mean, who dislikes that? It just boldens the player base, and you will have a better time getting into matches, and probably better quality matches, with the hidden MMR and all that stuff. Other things like double key binding, input-based matchmaking, and PC file share, while I'm excited for them, I consider them to be more of a quality of life improvement. But, like I said, they are still exciting and will be much welcomed. Speaking of quality of life improvements, for some reason today I just cannot say the word quality. Quality of life improvements. 343 Industries has also stated that they now have a dedicated bug fixing team who will begin to hammer out bugs in August. So of course they had people who've been working on bugs, but now they have assembled a dedicated team that's what they do, is they try to squash these bugs as soon as possible. Amongst the bugs that they're going after, the rather iffy uncapped frame rate for Halo Reach and Halo 2 Anniversary, as well as the widely reported achievement issues, which mainly consist of achievements not unlocking or tracking properly, will be handled. As a matter of fact, the achievement for, destroying the Corvette's escort and engines in under 3 minutes in Halo Reach is bugged for me. I did it multiple times, solo and co-op, and it never unlocked. It ended up unlocking for my friend who I did it with co-op. He got the achievement, but I still didn't. So I hope that gets fixed because I'm kind of a completionist. I also know exactly what they're talking about when it comes to uncapped frame rate performance as well. As Halo Reach has this weird ghosting effect, and Halo 2 Anniversary does not feel like it's running at the frame rate I know my computer can get. I mean, my computer's not god tier or top of the line, but it is way, way more powerful than even the recommended specs for MCC, so I feel like everything should run pretty perfectly. Apart from that, I think having a dedicated bug squashing team will help resolve the community reported bugs, rather they be big or small, in a timely and orderly fashion, rather than just, we'll get to it when we get to it, we got so much going on. Because some of these bugs, depending on who you are, they might be game breaking. They might be deterring you from playing the game. So having a team dedicated to hammering out as many of these bugs as they can as fast as possible is a major plus. Halo 2 Anniversary and Halo Reach are actually currently my least favorite games to play because of their shoddy uncapped frame rate. I mean, I still play them, but I don't prefer to play them. And I'd like to play them more, but just like I said, there are people out there who don't really want to play games that don't run well, and while I don't like it, I still play them. But knowing that it's going to get fixed sooner rather than later is a big plus for me. Another small thing that I think is very cool, and I posted this on Twitter as well, is that Halo 3 ODST weapons will be added to Halo 3 when it releases. I think this will be a remarkably interesting addition, as I love the suppressed SMG and the TAC Magnum. I do not think they will alter the sandbox, too much, but will rather be a welcome addition to it. I mean, I know that the suppressed SMG is a little more accurate, so it might change, medium range conflicts on the maps it's present on, however they plan on implementing it, but I still think it'll be fun. Halo 3's hit registration was touched on in this update as well. Halo 3's hit registration has never really been up to par when compared to the original Xbox 360 version of the game. I would not necessarily say it has been downright bad as of recently, but not quite where it should be. Now, I know I said in my flight video that the hit registration felt good on PC, and it did to me, and in my opinion, while there is still registration issues that pop up here and there, it doesn't make the game unplayable and is very manageable. But again, it is not up to par with the OG Halo 3 that most people want to be experiencing again. As a matter of fact, a video was circulating around where the difference between the 30Hz tick rate, which is what Halo 3 on the 360 used, and the 60Hz tick rate, what MCC uses, was showcased. According to the video, the obvious solution to fix the long time hit registration issue for Halo 3 would be to revert the game back to a 30Hz tick rate. For those of you who don't know, the tick rate is how often the server refreshes or updates the game state. A 60Hz tick rate means that the server can send 60 packets of data to clients per second. Basically how fast the server refreshes. However, in the MCC developmental update, Postum stated that while reverting the tick rate would seemingly fix the issue, it would not actually fix the root cause of the hit registration issue, and would act more as a band-aid rather than an actual fix. 343 Industries is currently and has been investigating the root cause of the issue, and has some changes and tweaks that will be available for flighting this month, August. They did ultimately state that they do not have a definitive fix for the hit registration issue yet, but as I stated before, they are working on it. Well, those are the highlights of this update that I was most interested in and the ones I wanted to talk about the most. So, let's go ahead and wrap this up, shall we? At the end of the day, I reported the news as if I were a news channel, but without the timeliness or the in-depth word-for-word deciphering that usually accompanies Halo news breakdowns. I wanted to make this video because the long-awaited features that I personally have been excited for are confirmed to be closer to implementation than I thought they were. Halo 3 ODST's flighting, the firefight matchmaking, work on Halo 3's hit reg, new season unlocks, and all of these features such as crossplay in the custom browser are things that the community has wanted since before MCC was even slated for a PC release. I was elated and even more hyped than ever for ODST's flighting and the subsequent release and updates after reading this development blog. For the most part, these blog posts usually just leave me informed and maybe a little bit excited for what's to come. However, this blog post addressed pretty much everything I was excited to see make its way to MCC on both PC and Xbox. So with that, I ended the blog post with a feeling of hype and excitement like no other. And with that, I wanted to make this video to express my opinions and talk about the things that are coming to the MCC that I have personally waited a long time to see. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I want to say I have a few things in the works that will eventually find their way to the channel, such as a new Forge map to showcase and a video about Halo 3's success on PC. If you liked what you saw, do not forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you have not already. I will be keeping my eye out for those comments, as community interaction is one of my favorite parts of being a content creator. Feel free to follow me on social media, links will be in the description, as that is where I interact with the community the most. Now, I bid you all adieu, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.